Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much. Welcome to Punchline Africa from the Political Command Center of Punchline Africa, miles away from the general headquarters in Nairobi. Good morning, Matsanga.
Good morning, Dr. Matsanga, David, and of course our viewers here in Kenya, Africa, and the globe at large. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. We are broadcasting live through the satellite systems of Punchline Africa Television, miles away from the general headquarters in Nairobi. We apologize that our headquarters is still intact, except that a few commitments and rearrangement of family matters. Miriam will be back tomorrow or another day when we shall proceed with no more broadcasts right in the headquarters of Punchline Africa Television, but still through the satellite links miles away from the political command center of the same Punchline Africa Television. Good morning, I'm Dr. David Matsanga. Thank you very much, viewers. This morning, breakfast with Dr. Matsanga is a very good one. We shall first of all look at the COVID numbers of Kenya, how far we stand, how far we go, how far we are, what has happened. Have we curved? Have we curved? Are we curving? Or we are about to come up again? Sorry state. I think there is a problem here in this situation of COVID-19 of the Punchline Africa Television. Thank you very much. Let me look first at the figures of Kenya and East Africa, how they stand as they were brought to me by our researchers down on the ground, and as brought to us by our researchers down on the ground. So good morning, Africa. The figures are as follows. And we want to thank our researchers for giving us these figures this morning. A total number of people so far in Kenya, we have, as per yesterday, the figures of Kenya of those recoveries. So far, Kenya has 748 deaths and 39,907 cases so far. And yesterday we had the biggest number of recoveries, bringing the number of recoveries to 31,659. That's a record. And thank you very much for continuing to observe the regulations, social distancing, wash your hands, stay away if possible from areas where you can be contaminated. You know, wear your mask where possible when you are going out in the public. Don't hesitate to do those things because coronavirus is around here. Thank you very much. And the rest of the figures can be done when Miriam is back in the normal way as she sorts out her other family commitments and for the time being. So thank you very much, viewers. Kenya yesterday recorded a huge number of recoveries. Matsanga.
Yes, Dr. Matsanga.
Is it possible for you to tell us whether it is possible? These recoveries are as a result of what?
Yes, I think first of all, the morale of the people also plays a very, very big role, and the fact that Kenyans have been observing the measures that have been put there by the Ministry of Health in terms of washing hands, in terms of putting on masks, in terms of just observing social distance and all that, I believe this has contributed more to the bigger number of recoveries. And also, when you look at the statistics across the board in African continent, especially sub-Saharan Africa, you notice that the numbers of recoveries are much higher than what we witnessed in the Middle East, in China, and in the West and America. So partly also our immunity as an African people has a big contributor to these high numbers. So it is our immunity, our adherence to the measures out there, and also the morale and the spirit in the people.
You think your immunity system, the morale amongst the people, which morale is this? The drinking of beer?
Not absolutely, Dr. Matsanga. I think the President and the Ministry of Health have been very, very supportive to the people, and the encouragement that is out there is quite overwhelming, and telling the people that this is a disease that is affecting us for now, but going forward, we can be able to conquer it, and Kenya can be able to return back to normalcy, and people can go on with their daily activities. I think that has a strong impact on the spirit of the people when handling the disease. And we saw that in Madagascar, when the president was really motivating his people and telling them that this was only but a disease that could be contained by the people of Madagascar. And we saw the numbers there did not surge as much as we witnessed in China and Europe, that is Italy, and also in America. So I think how the message is packaged, and in this television, we were on the forefront on advising the Ministry of Health to factor in that emotional support and the way they package their message. And I think they have heeded to the call, and it has been having some positive impact in terms of numbers of people who recover from the disease.
In terms of numbers of people who recovered from the disease. Javan Karanja from Nanyoke. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you, my brother?
I'm doing fine, I'm doing great. God is helping in this side.
Hallelujah, thank you very much. Tomorrow is a prayer day for you. Are you beginning your prayer tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow I've already started, but tomorrow is the day, until Sunday.
How are the preparations in Nanyuki?
People are well prepared, and when you go around, people are talking about it, and people are ready to escape this country so that the drums of wars and the people who think violence is the way to success, they will be defeated.
Thank you very much. You have heard where Songa saying there is an upbeat amongst the people. Are you also one of those with an upbeat?
What? Yes?
Where Songa says there is an upbeat amongst the people, why we had very high numbers of infection, people, free people. Yesterday was the highest number of people that were told those COVID-free. What is your upbeat? What is the upbeat of the people of Nanyuki, Nyeri, Laikipia, Nyandarua? The train is there, the train coming?
The train is coming, is still working, and people are coming, especially on tomorrow, Friday. People come on their numbers to this region to experience the good hotels in these areas and some kind of visiting to wildlife stuff in this entire Laikipia County, and I see all the way to some good. Yeah. On the matter of COVID-19, yesterday was a very, very good day, and when you go around, you see people receiving that message with a good heart, because yesterday the number of recovery was 4,000 plus, and that's something very, very impressive, and we are heading in the right direction. And I think the Ministry of Health, they are doing great things, and this is a signal that the fullness of time, Corona is defeated, and Kenya will go back to normal and the entire universe.
On the question of schools, still with Songa and Karanja first. What is the position? Do you think people are listening to Punchline Africa television?
Yeah, people are listening.
Apparently, the way where you were in the train in Nanyuki town, where you are, where you are reporting from, what are the feelings of people for people returning their children to school.
And I think that message from the Minister of Education was not received well. And you can see people receive it warmly because it was a good reception from the ministry, from parents, especially in this region, because parents are complaining a lot because of the hard economic times courtesy of COVID-19. Parents are saying they don't have the school fees. And that was message that they didn't expect from the Minister of Education. Therefore, it's a good reception. Parents are on a good flow and matters returning back their children to school because we know we had a very tough economic time. And some schools were, especially the private schools, some of them have been closed, some of them have been done to poultry farming rights. Therefore, it's a stress parents and to students because we understand, especially those students who go to boarding schools, they need to travel from one place to another because, like here in Nanyuki, there are some students who study in Nyandarua, who go to all the way to Nyeri and other parts of this country. Therefore, it's something that the Ministry of Education addressed these things, and the parents here are not happy at all. And you can see even from the going around, when you find them talking in groups, they are not happy because of one thing is the school fees. Number two, they are fearing of a second wave of breakout of COVID-19 because as we are, this country has not been cleared as COVID-19. Therefore, it's something that I think the problem is with the Minister of Education because they are rushing things. I don't know where they want to take us. And I think they could have waited a bit so that they reopen the school when everything is well prepared. Because when you go around some schools in this region, some of them, they don't have even water tanks. Now, it's a question of time before they open school on Monday. And you wonder where will they get water? I don't know who is best to get where will we get the sanitizer and soap. Will parents dig back to their pockets to get money to buy soap and sanitizer? This is something that the Minister of Education must come and bring it to perspective and tell Kenyans what exactly is going on. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Javan Karanja. You summarized it. Stay on the line. All the way from Nanyuki. Thank you. That is the Legacy Trend reporter, correspondent, analyst for the region of Laikipia, Nyandarua, Nyeri, the entire Mount Kenya region. We shall get the Meru man on tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good morning. Stay on the line. Now, in this 21st century, Wesonga, people are doing digital invasions. What did the PLO tell you yesterday? Can you quote some of the things? And both questions to you, Karanja, note it down. Yes. How are people receiving the developmental approach of President Uhuru Kenyatta? Remember, we are talking this morning, breakfast with Dr. Matsanga, is simply to talk about why the legacy is still very important, why Uhuru Kenyatta still is the man to beat on development, on infrastructure, on roads, on construction, on housing. Things are moving. Nairobi City is come back. You feel when you walk, when people are separated from cars, you feel like you are in Athens. You feel like you are in Ankara. You feel like you are in The Hague. You feel like you are in Amsterdam, where people's pedestrians walk in a normal, organized manner, not people jumping over, running, fighting against cars. Wesonga, do you feel that there is hope in President Uhuru Kenyatta's way of development, the way of emphasis, the way of going out to do it? When Sonko was busy counting millions and taking millions out of Nairobi, Uhuru Kenyatta came and said, no way, let's put there Major General Hadi. Are we not receiving the goods? Take it away.
Yes, Dr. Matsanga, by all aspects, we are doing great under President Uhuru Kenyatta. And whatever happened in NMS was a blessing in disguise for Kenyans. And you saw that with only 22 million shillings, Major General Badi was able to bring to life vehicles, 83 vehicles, which had been rendered as scrap metals, which were to be disposed. And they are now going out there to ensure that Nairobians receive a sufficient service delivery, and also they improve the lives of common man in the city. And I think that is very, very applaudable. And the president said that for those naysayers who have been fighting his agenda and the moves that he's been taking to give the military some important works to do, they will be stand at the end of the day when the results will come out show. And that's exactly what you are seeing. We are seeing a very clean city. We are seeing a very improved water supply and other service delivery. We are seeing clinics and hospitals being built by the NMS. And that is the kind of job that we need to see in the city. And I believe in the end of the day, President Uhuru Kenyatta will be proud of whatever the NMS is doing, whatever various ministries that he's been watching are doing. And I saw the other day also President Uhuru Kenyatta saying that he'll be doing the impromptu visits of all the ongoing projects. We saw him the other week in Mombasa before he departed for France. And I think that is what we need to see as citizens, because for a very, very long time, when he delegated these duties to some people, people in government, some projects went unattended to, and some contractors never delivered on this project. But with the president himself visiting site and being able to oversee these projects, it brings in some sense of responsibility and competence on the side of even the contractors themselves. And also, Dr. Matsanga, just comment on whatever you mentioned about the PPA law, the debate that was yesterday. I believe he raised a very pertinent issue, and an issue that pricks the conscience of the Kenyan people, that today, Dr. Matsanga, we are in the era of nanotechnology, an era where things are done at the click of the button and in the click of a second. And therefore, there's no need for some political players to burden our youth with some primitive tools like wheelbarrows, which were used way back even before the agrarian revolution. So what is the essence of giving a graduate a wheelbarrow? So I think on his part, he had a very valid point, and I'll not dwell much on it, but rather because this is a show that illuminates the legacy of the president, I'll focus more on whatever the president is doing to improve the lives of the Kenyan youth, to create employment for the Kenyan youth, and to ensure that he has a legacy to leave at the end of the day after he finishes his term in 2022, Dr. Matsanga.
Thank you very much, Karanja. The quick one on the development, the railway, the Nanyuki Railway. What's going on, man? Have you tried it? We shall sponsor you tomorrow or the other day, Saturday, for you. We want you to come back, to come to Nairobi, then go back. We shall give you a ticket so that you can actually sample it, especially when is the timetable for the train?
It comes on the evening, on Friday.
On Friday evenings.
Yeah.
So we need to bring, and then it returns when?
Then I will send you the timetable for that to be organized.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Hold on, but any other development, roads? Do you see roads being constructed around?
Yeah, there are roads, and I'm a witness that sometimes when I was coming to Nairobi, and there's these two currents, and it's from Tajana coming to a place called Barwa, and it's working progress, and the jams and the traffic jam that you experience in that area, it have been congested, and you can see the people coming from this region of Kenya going to Nairobi. We take less time, and the cost of coming has also reduced significantly. This is something that is a best disposal. And when you come to these regions of Mount Kenya, going all the way to Nyandarua, every constituency, I can tell you this, there's a road that are grown in big numbers that is able to preserve their potatoes and something very addition so that they repurpose their potatoes that are from the products from these potatoes and they export it as a final product and this will ensure that farmers in that region they have money in their pocket and good money and that's something that the government is doing in a big numbers. Other thing in terms of agriculture, they have come up with the cooling plant for milk and milk and dairy farming. And this is something that has ensured that farmers are able to get their milk to these places anytime.
Okay.
Depending on the morning, there's no need to take your milk at the morning.
Thank you.
Anytime to ensure that it is preserved and that you can take
Thank you. Thank you very much, Javani Karanja. Thank you very much, Daniel Wesonga. We hear the running battles in Kaberingo. Kaberingo is a place where the deputy president was due to a meeting in Nyamira.
Yes.
Reports coming from Nyamira from our correspondent, the legacy trend down in Nyamira, indicate that there are running battles between the police and the people there. The police are trying to reinforce. Check on that, our investigative journalists, before we bring it out, because the laws are very clear now. We must bring out what is verifiable. But we get us some pictures coming from Nyamira. I can see our correspondent in Nyamira. I can see. Just now, this morning, President Uhuru Kenyatta has signed into law the county revenue allocation bill, paving way for the disbursement of 369 billion shillings. That is Punchline Africa Television live from the State House in Nairobi up in the hill. President Uhuru Kenyatta has just now signed into law the revenue allocation bill, paving way for the disbursement of 369 billion shillings to the counties. Counties will not suffer anymore. Karanja, was your county suffering?
Yeah, my county was one that the first formula that was the third generation clearing formula. My county was one of these counties that was about to get an increase of 660 million. And that is something that we celebrated because we know money should be given to people but not forests and trees. And unfortunately, when the government, when the Senate was not able to come into agreement and to come with a good to pass that formula, the president increased the amount of allocation. And I can say that my county has gotten something more. The amount of allocation we get from previous year has increased. And this is something that we hope we change the mode of doing business and the development, because we know there are these roads that are preserved for county government and schools that are this kind of thing. And we know something good is that because when the money is increased, we know that the development will also boom, and that this implies employment, because more people get employed in these projects that is ongoing in this county. And the president is a wise man because he came at the right time and he brought a permanent solution before we bring the next year allocation, and these are what leadership entails.
Thank you very much, Karanja. There you are, viewers. We have live pictures coming from our correspondent, Rebecca, on the ground, the legacy correspondent, Rebecca McAnally in Nyamira. You can see the pictures live. Production team put them on. From Nyamira, police are having a running battle. We don't talk lies here. We talk what is on the ground. So anybody thinking that what we broadcast here are live, it's up to you. Make your judgment, but one day you might miss this voice, because that is exactly what it is. And
yes,
they are running battles. Stephen Production, bring those pictures from Nyamira. Thank you very much, Rebecca McKinnon. Thank you. You are always on top of the legacy trend. Keep going. Thank you. Our correspondent picked the pictures on the ground. Stephen, bring the pictures on the ground in Nyamira. Police are having a running battle with all people who are supposed to be in Keribego, waiting for His Excellency, the Deputy President of Republic of Kenya. Thank you. Oh Lord. Yesterday, the National Security ANZAC, is it called ANZAC? Is it called ANZAC? What is it called?
The National Executive Security.
Past
yes, and Dr.
guidelines. We are coming to that topic. Don't go into it so we are coming, but we are only. Can we have those pictures, please? Coming on live or from Nyamira. We have running battles between the police and those who have gathered, who want to listen. Rallies have been prohibited. You must give police notice. Let's see when the future president will fly there. Those are pictures coming from our correspondent on the ground in Kebirigo. Wasonga, do you have any more pictures?
Yes, my person on ground is sending me some information in a few minutes. Once I receive them, I'll be able to share with our production team so that they can be able to be sure.
So the test of the pudding is on this rally. Will the Deputy President of Republic of Kenya honor the obligations, guidelines that were put there by the same body that was constitutionally mandated to advise? Remember, in 2013, the same ANZAC or the same National Security, the Security Council was mandated and asked by international community. I think most of you don't forget history. I don't know why the people of Kenya have forgotten history so easily, so quickly. That 13 years ago, we started having running battles of this nature. That 13 years ago, this country went down to the precipice of danger, cliffhanger. That 13 years ago, we started drums of war of this nature. That 13 years ago, you people started dividing people on tribes, color, and almost creed. That 13 years ago, you started politics, combative politics. The politics of what to do, what can you do to me? That politics led us to a very, very dangerous pitfalls of insanity. The pitfall of insanity seem to be repeating themselves. That when some of us have no energy anymore to defend what will come out if we don't stop it now. We want to thank the government and let the government be on record. Let them be on record that they said it. They put it out. You failed to use their advice. You failed to return back in your office. You failed to work for development. And then you go malingering. And the malingering, is there a word called malingering, Karanja?
Maybe yes or no.
I have just to malingalinga. Oh, it is lingering.
Yeah,
lakini kwa Kiswahili tunasema maringaringa. Maringaringi zao as vernacular. To maringaringa. You know, the Matsanga founders also speaking English. For example, there are some words in English that are used in our own vernacular without you knowing. So thank you very much, viewers. Wesonga, when you get any more news, some of us are still very, 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 very fragile, very old. We might not be able to sustain this campaign. Again, we are hearing rumors and the graveyard discussions. The international community is watching and monitoring and recording every event. If you are going for prayers, prayers are not held by you only. The President of the Republic of Kenya has put tomorrow, Saturday, culminating on Sunday. Those of us who want to pray, wear your mask and pray. You can dedicate yourself 1 hour and pray. Read the Bible. Read it. Wherever you are. You don't need to crowd people unless you are crowding them for something else. The pandemic is rising again. The pandemic could come for second wave. Let's adhere to the principles of the guidelines of the government. Karanja and Wesonga.
Yes.
Wow. Westgate terrorists await sentencing on 2nd October. Is that a good sign that we have fought terrorism?
Yes, the fact that these terrorists, the people who have been alleged to be the masterminds, have been brought before the courts of justice, and the process has not taken a longer time than expected. It's a big win for the victims who lost their lives, the families of those who were maimed, and the entire nation, which was taken through a despondent time during the hour of the Westgate attack. So I believe slowly we are winning the war against terrorism. And also, Dr. Matsanga, the other time when we were discussing about the same topic, it came out clearly that in the recent past, we've been having very, very few incidences of terror attack, albeit for whatever happened early this week where a bus was attacked in Mandera. We've been having very, very minimal instances of terrorism. And that goes to we owe it to our security forces, which have been very, very alert on abating on aborting these terror plans and being able to keep check on our borders and the activities of the people who are perceived to be working with the terror group. So I believe we are heading in the right direction as a country, and ultimately we're gonna have the victory against these terrorists.
Yes, Garanja.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a very good step, and I think when judges make that and we determine the kind of punishment those guys deserve, I think it's good they serve as severe punishment so that there will be a lesson to others who want to engage on those kind of terrorism attacks. And from when that attack happened, and that one of Garissa, we have not experienced another big attack, especially outside those regions of northern Eastern and like Nairobi or other places. Therefore, this is to show that we are making a big step. We are making a success on the fight against terrorism in our country, because some of the small attacks that we are getting the border near Somali, and this shows that the terrorism attacks are not coming in these other regions of this country. This shows that on the war against terrorism, the government of the day is winning. our police and training them and taking them back to training. This is something that is ensuring that they are up of the bar, they are up of their game, and that they are able to use this terrorism, and that they are able to tell the terrorist attack way before even it happens, because these are very good things. And I think I thank the president because what he has done a lot in matter of security, and the reforms in the entire security forces is something that we must appreciate the government for, because we are seeing the fruit of those kind of steps that are made by the government of the day.
Okay, thank you very much. Wesonga, finally. Wesonga.
I've just been following up on whatever is happening in Nyamira County.
I've picked it, don't worry. I've picked it from our correspondent, the legacy correspondent live in Nyamira. I've got the photographs, but keep them for our second show. I've got the live links of video. Police telling people to go away. There's no meeting. Okay? That is now effective from. Can we have the President Uhuru Kenyatta's agenda for as we wind up and go into, just those are the live pictures live from Keberigo. So the helicopter can land and address an empty ground.
Yeah.
So on the Big Four agenda, I believe what Javan has said, the president is doing quite great in ensuring that he leaves behind a very, very solid legacy. And when you look, whatever the president is doing is not only in Nanyuki, in Busia, in Murang'a, or in Homa Bay, or Dalangi. He's doing it even here in the city. When you look at the Ngong Road, it used to have a very, very serious traffic snarl-up. And with time, with the construction of the dual carriage, that has been all sorted up. When right now, when you drive along Mayaki Way, you see the expressway, the Nairobi JKI expressway. It's coming out quite robustly and swiftly. So we believe with that in place, in less than 2 years, we shall be able to have a very, very smooth traffic flow in the city, as well as also just easing up for those travelers who are leaving the city going to up country. So I think in terms of infrastructure, in terms of also universal healthcare, in terms of creating a conducive environment to create jobs for our young people, President Uhuru Kenyatta has quite performed exceptionally. And whatever remains now is for the wider political class, which has been engaging in the early 2022 campaign, to give him an ample time to deliver on his legacy. Because we realize when the country is doing well, when the country is peaceful, when the country is on the path of progress, then we all benefit as a people. But if we have other people who are still engaging in politics, people who are still calling for other international people who meddle in our politics to try and choke our economic progress, then we have a very stagnated prosperity as a people. So I believe the president is on the core of issues in terms of sorting and ensuring that our economy grows, and also uniting Kenyans. So I think the president is doing quite well in terms of delivering on his Big Four agenda.
Thank you very much. Pictures those are coming live. I want the production team to put our tag inside the legacy, because those are live pictures from our people on the ground, from Rebecca on the ground of the legacy trend. Please don't mix them with pictures from other people's place. Then we get mixed up. We want to be responsible for what we broadcast. So anything, Jeff, those pictures must have our emblem in, so that they are ours. So anyone who picks them from us, we are able to responsible, because we have our correspondent on the ground And listen to me, please. Those pictures, videos that are coming live, emblem them as the legacy trend or the punchline correspondent or punchline television. Don't allow them to be used by other people who have no correspondence on the ground. Thank you very much. Unless they use it with an express from courtesy of Punchline Africa, we shall agree on that. So we don't want to be mixed up. Then they misuse them or Photoshop them, and then they say they came from us. We have to learn as we go on this job. Thank you very much, Karanja. Thank you, all of you. Bring the big four as we wind up, and we shall come back at the top of the hour with the People's Court. Woo! Yesterday. Yes, Karanja?
Yes, and on the Big Four agenda, there's something that the government of the day, although it's not in the Big Four agenda, the education sector, and that is something that I must say the government has done a very good thing, because when you go around, and I think that is the aim of the government, to have a technical vocational training school in every constituency, and that's something that is happening here in this area. When I went to Nyandarua last sometimes back, I saw the Nyandarua was some place that was left behind in terms of technical schools and those kind of colleges. And they have a KMTC that is operational right now. They have an event institution in Nyandarua. When you come to Laikipia, we have several in every constituency of Laikipia. We have one in Nyeri. We have the Nyeri Polytechnic that was a technical school, but now it's a national polytechnic. It was promoted by the Minister of Education, and these institutions are ensuring that the youth are getting skills, the youth are getting empowered, so that when they go out there, they are market oriented, they can do their jobs, they can create jobs even to other young people, because they are getting technical courses to do the mechanical jobs and those kind of things. And the government has also invested a lot in the ICT sector. When you go around these places, you have ICT hubs, like you have one in the town where people are getting more of the technological things. And this is something that is ensuring that the youth that we have in this country are able to compensate with the other youth in the world, because this is the technology that the world is one technological invention, and the government and the Ministry of IT, they have done a very good job, because even in secondary school at that school level.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Karanja from Nanyuki. Thank you very much, Daniel Wesonga. Thank you. The legacy trend goes on. Now we go to our next show. We take a break. And when we come back in about 5 minutes, we shall be back with the People's Court. In this show, we want to show how the government can stop the hate mongers, how the new regulations, the guidelines that were put, we have already seen a violation there. People had already put up the tents and expecting, we hope the Deputy President will fly in there to find an empty ground as a sign of demonstration and a sign of manhood, and a sign of, if the aircraft is flying towards that area, refuse it permission. Hey, this is the state. Yes, we must enforce the law.
Yes.
The air control service refused permission. Nobody is going. We don't want to go the route we had. We ignored so many things in 2008, 2008. lot of things. Please, this time, the security agencies, the commissioner of police, you know Hussein Ali ended up in The Hague. Mzee, don't give anything by chance. If the instructions have been endorsed by the government, air service controller, no helicopter to fly towards that direction. Full stop. Kwisha. That is the government. So wait until you manufacture your own government. No, wait. Wait until you have your own government. Then you can do what you want. But you cannot spoil your friend's legacy. Just spoil it. The Kenya Airport Authority and the Civil Aviation check on these helicopters. If they have no direction to go, ground them. No permission for air travel. Wacha watu wajue, because it is cheaper to reinforce these rules in Kenya than going to The Hague. Which way do you want Mutambai? Which way? I'm asking you Kenyans, which way? Is it cheaper to enforce the guidelines that the National Security Agency has put forward, or it is easier to go to The Hague?
Yes, I agree. I agree absolutely with you, Dr. Matsanga. And they say that those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat the same mistakes. And if we don't take care, then we are on the same path that led us to 2007-2008 skirmishes. So I think that is negotiable.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You indeed told me that a jobless Kenyan is a desperate Kenyan. You told me also that a hungry Kenyan is a negative Kenyan. You told me that a sick Kenyan is a weak Kenyan. And you also told us that a homeless Kenyan is a Kenyan without hope. You, the Kenyan people, spoke clearly. We want dignity. We want to put enough food on our tables. And we want a lower cost of living. We listened. Since, and on reflection, I have come up with 4 responses to these concerns, and I call them the big 4. Food security, affordable housing, manufacturing, and affordable health care for all.
That is the position on the big 4. Food security, health, universal health care, housing, affordable housing, manufacturing. Many of the people in the rural areas would like to know how food security is very important. To have food enough for eating and surplus for export. To have enough food to feed families. Many people would like to know what universal health care is. We need to start to talk to people, to tell them, to do documentaries. How is the fishing? What type of fishing can be done on a small 1 acre? We need to go out inside in the villages, get our teams that can come up with all documentaries, weekly, daily, so that fishing can be improved. Fishing can become one of the food. When people talk about food in Africa, Miriam, in Siaya, for example, people think of the maize, but fish is also a food item that must be stored, that must have facilities for.
The 4th element is food security and nutrition. Since independence, we as a people have sought to ensure that our citizens enjoy food security and proper nutrition. And while we have made good progress, the challenge, however, remains yet to be fully conquered. It is time to address once and for all the multiple and interlocking factors that leave too many Kenyans at risk of hunger. Our immediate actions start now. We will bring targeted taxation to bear to put arable land to use. We will continue to encourage and facilitate large-scale commercial agriculture to diversify our staples through irrigation and other technologies. We will protect our water towers. Small-scale farmers will receive better extension services